afternoon, everybody. Yeah, I'm Billy. I'm from a very small town called Alustar, very close to the Thai border. So, in fact, Khalif has given a very good introduction as of what is happening today in Malaysia. In terms of the present MCO, it caused all of us to change our perspective in life. So the fundamental thing which is most important today is to stay alive, to stay away from being infected by this COVID-19. So how we to do that? Of course, stay away from everybody. But then staying away from everybody doesn't mean that we are in so we cannot communicate. In fact, Khalif has been very smart to start this WUS meeting. So here we are sharing our experience. I thank all of you to give me a chance to share with you this product called Ventros IM device. In fact, it was introduced to me through a friend, Celine Leong. I'm thankful to her. It has improved my life a lot in terms of my health. I was in Australia when I was told about this product, and I sat through for 3 days and 3 nights going through the internet, browsing through all the things that I can read about in low light laser therapy. And I found that it's very interesting because I also very aware about the latest innovative research done in mitochondria instead of DNA and RNA, which was done the last decade or so. So after going through that, I said, okay, fine, just order a few units for me. At that point of time, I think it's just about to increase in price from 3,500 to 3,008. So I has asked my son to join her for a meeting in KL, and asked my son to start using it. And after 3 days of using it, his allergic rhinitis has stopped totally, which I was really surprised. And that really gets me going. Okay, let's come to the IM laser. Khalid, can you go on with that? First and foremost, as a pharmacist, I would say the most important thing, whatever you do, either you use a device or you use medication or supplement, never ever introduce anything into your life that can cause harm to yourself. That's the most fundamental important thing. As a medical guy, we will always do that. So we are trained in evidence-based medical things. So I have got to be very careful of what I claim. We should not overclaim. So important thing is, what is this device? Is it good? Is it bad? So that's very important to me. So looking at it, the first thing we look at is this device, the endorsement is very important. It's just exactly like if you're going to buy a Rolls Royce, you're not worried. The price is $2-3 million. Why? Why should you pay $2-3 million for a car? It's just another car. Why don't you just buy Proton and pay $35,000? Because it's been endorsed, it's been the best in the world, so you buy it. So it's the same thing like this device. How good is it? Is it worth for me to buy? So the endorsement of this device is very important. So we come to this slide. The Euro Standard Medical Device Class 3, which is the European standard for medical device. In fact, in America, they classify under 3B, Class 3B. That's a home medical device in FDA standard. So when you receive this standard, is to prove that this device has been approved by the Medical Council in Europe, that it is a good device to use as a home medical device. So in fact, the other thing is a US patent number, which is there. So that shows that this IP comes from America. No doubt, it is manufactured in China. And when people talk about China, in fact, I face a lot of these challenges when I meet my friends, who are, most of them are very highly educated and very well placed in Malaysia. The first thing they ask me, where is this product made? I said, made in China. Huh? Made in China, my God. So I said, now look here, look at my phone. My phone is iPhone, right? My iPhone 10. So I said, this is 100% American product, but it's made in China. Why? Because of the cost. Simple as that. So with that, of course, they trusted me. They said, okay, fine. So that is the US patent, which is very important. And then, of course, when you come to this, the other one, the ISO 13485, that is endorsed by TUV, which gave out the certificate. TUV in the medical field, in the engineering field, in professional field, in terms of precision testing, this is world-recognized organization to give out the certificate. It's very, very difficult to obtain a certificate like that from TUV. So you talk to professional people. When you mention TUV give this certificate, oh, is it so? Once they accept this, then it is perfectly okay to be used anywhere in the world. It's fully accepted worldwide. So in this case, you not to worry. And it has been very stringently tested for 10,000 hours with no problem at all. And of course, we have the GDPMD certification, the Malaysian Ministry of Health endorsement, given the certificate that it can be used as a home device. So we are not worried about using this device when we have all these endorsements or all different bodies in the world. What I did not see here is the certificate that this device has earned in the Geneva, April 2019 International Exhibition. The Salon International Invention in Switzerland, April 2019. They won the silver medal. Khalid, is it there? The silver medal? Anyway, yeah, this is the one. Now, in order to win this this certificate and to be the second in the world for the invention in 2019 is not an easy thing. Definitely, it's not an easy thing. Now, to become number 2 in the world when there are thousands of submissions of new product and invention, it meant this product has really come up to a standard in terms of world standard, not just a Malaysian standard or whatever it is. So you can be assured that you can use this device with full confidence that it will be giving you the full effect that it should be giving you using this device in your life. So that's what I would say. The first important thing to me as a professional is to make sure the product is well endorsed with world recognition, and this is where I can say this is already assured that this product is 100% endorsed for you to use. So you have no worries at all. You can go ahead and use it safely. Okay, I think that endorsement is enough for you to use this product with confidence and to commit yourself to fully use it and recommend to your friends in terms to help them to build up their health and immunity system, the general health, and help them to alleviate whatever medical conditions that they have. Okay, now let's go to the next slide in terms of the product, what it does for you. Now, this product is actually approved by the FDA since 2001, the American FDA, so you don't have to worry about that. And this, in fact, the low laser therapy has been in use for many decades. And the first one to use it was actually NASA, the American Space Authority. Because when the astronauts goes to space, they have no space to do the exercise and improve their health in terms of circulation and keeping themselves healthy. They use this device, low light laser therapy, to improve their blood circulation, to have nutrients to the cells, and detoxify their body to keep themselves healthy. Okay, so this is the certificate, the Malaysian certificate, Ministry of Health. As you can see, without this Ministry of Health Malaysia certificate, please do not buy products or use a product, because lately there are a number of products that have been banned by the government because they do not have this certificate. And they make a lot of claims that they can cure cancer, they can cure whatever. So be careful. In our case, the Ventros IM is endorsed by the Ministry of Health, so you don't have to worry. The certificate is here, so you can be assured. You can show your customer that you are not worried about using this product and being banned by the government. All right. Okay. Next. You, are you okay? Okay. Now we come to the product. So what does this IM ventros does to your body. First thing, what is IM ventros? It is an integrative medical device. Why is it called integrative medical device? Because it consists of three things in this one device. It is Western therapy of laser light, Eastern therapy of acupuncture, and also Japanese magnetic therapy. 3 in 1. That's why it's called integrative medical device. So if you look at this device, at the back of this wash light device, there are actually one straight line with four LED lights and one at the center. Now, when you place the wash on your left wrist, the 4 inline leg will be on your pulse. So this pulse, this area, it will emit. How to show you? Where's the wash? Okay. Now, when this is on the wash, it will emit the laser light, which will strike on your pulse, and that pulse will actually stimulate the production of ATP in the body. Can you see? And can you see this? Now, this light, actually the pulsation of the light will actually strike on the pulse in your vein and artery. So this one was what they call photobiomodulation. When you say that, it's bio because it's stimulating the cells, the live cells. At the same time, we call photo because we're using light. And then modulation means to change the cell content in the particular cells itself. By using laser light, the energy of the laser light striking on the cells itself, it will strike on the mitochondria to produce ATP, adenosine triphosphate, as well as nitrous phosphate and ROS together with stem cells, which I'll explain later. Now, why you need to use a laser light and the wash on the left side or the left wrist is because the left wrist is the nearest point to your heart. So the blood circulation is the maximum in that space. And why you need to put it in your nose? Because your nose have a very thin layer of epithelial cells and a lot of capillaries in the nose. And because of that, the laser light will have the maximum penetration into your blood cells when it circulates through your nasal cavity. And every 80 minutes, your body whole blood volume will pass through this area. So if you use for 30 minutes, that 3 times your blood will go through this area. So it will stimulate the production of ATP, nitrous oxide, stem cells, as well as ROS in your body, which is very effective. Next thing you do is when you come to this point, when you have this at the wrist side, there's one particular LED light which strikes on the neck, one point, which is supposed to open up the 361 what we call acupuncture points in the body. Honestly, I am a pharmacist. I do not know about acupuncture, but I have one experience because when I met a guy whom I don't know, and I asked him, a friend of mine, to try it. He says, no, you let this friend try it. And he put it on the wrist. Within 5 minutes, he turned around and says, my friend, this product is very, very powerful. I said, how come you say that? So he says, I can feel my chi moves the whole body. And when I asked, what is this guy doing? Actually, I've not met him before. First time is my friend's friend. He says, my friend, this guy is a Qigong master. Oh, I see. No wonder. He can feel it, the movement of the chi, just within 5 minutes after using the device on the wrist. That's how good the product is. That is my own personal experience. And that's the first time I know about acupuncture. So when you use that point, it actually helps the chi flows in the body. Okay? Now, come to this, the other one is there are magnetism behind this unit. And that, in fact, if you put clip, paper clip. There are two areas you can see which will stick onto it. And the paper clip. Okay, yeah, right. The paper clip you will stick here. Another one is at the bottom. Right, there are two. So these magnetic points, in fact, there are magnets inside. It will be in between your pulse. So the blood, when it goes through, it will be magnetized by this magnetism. Now, what this does actually is, in every red blood corpuscle, we have iron molecules in every cell, every red cell. So when this magnet magnetize the red cells, you will become north and south pole, just like any magnet. So when common poles comes together, they will repel. Because of that repulsion, it makes your blood thin and the viscosity will improve. At the same time, when the laser light strikes onto the blood, it's striking on the mitochondria with the stimulation of the enzyme cytochrome. It will produce enzyme to break up the cell by hydrolyzing the cell's enzyme. So the blood cells will all speed up one by one. So the viscosity will improve and it will crumble together, right? Okay, that's what it does. Basically, this is what the function of this integrated device is all about. And okay, let's go to the next slide. Okay, now water. Oh, this one is actually, you talk in terms of this Krebs cycle in the body, where the food is to be metabolized and then broken into energy, and then at the same time excrete out. So when you talk about this IM laser, we are talking about cellular level stimulation. That's in terms of you stimulating the cells, each and every cell in the body, and in terms in the blood, and blood goes to every part of the body. So when you do this, the water, when it breaks down, hydrolyzed together, the carbohydrate, the food, it come out with energy, and then the H2O will break up. We have nascent hydrogen. This nascent hydrogen actually act on this free radical and neutralizes it. So that's why it acts as an antioxidant to prevent cancer and illness in the body. That's how it works. So, okay. Now, okay. Why you need 650 nanometer light? When you look at the spectrum of light, the one in the purple and blue, you actually can't see it. The UV, the UV, and the UVA, those are lights which are coming from the sun, which you can't see, but it affect your skin. These are the ones that can cause cancer. Now, the next one in between is the 400 to 700. This is the visible light that you can see, but you don't emit heat. So that's when we use the 650 nanometers, just in between, just before 600. It has been identified as the most effective wavelength to stimulate the mitochondria to secrete ATP, nitrous oxide, ROS, as well as stem cells. It has been identified and researched thoroughly that this is the one that we need to do the stimulation of photobiostimulation, modulation of the cells. That's why this is used at 650 nanometer. And the penetration of this particular wavelength is 5 to 6 cm. So when you use it in your wrist or in the body, you don't have to worry that you have got to be pressed hard onto the body. You don't have to. But make sure that it is in contact with the body, that's all. Not on the cloth, on the shirt, or on your pants, or something else. It must touch the body for penetration-wise. Otherwise, the rays will be wasted in terms of being blocked by your shirt and pants and all that. Anything above 700, these are used infrared. This infrared is heat, so it's very hot, like people used to cut in a surgery, in terms of even for cutting metals in building cars and metal things like that. These are all heat infrared, are used for cooking. So these are harmful rays. But 650 nanometers have been proven to be very safe. It does not cause any side effect to the body. it does not harm the body in total. So you don't have to worry, you use it with a peace of mind. Okay? So that's very important. So as I say, whatever you use, make sure you do not cause any harm to your body. So in terms of this, you be at peace, you don't have to worry. The 650 has been proven to be very safe and it will not harm your body at all. There is no side effect of using this. Of course, when you start using this device, you may see some symptoms of increase in body temperature because the blood circulation has improved, and you also see some reduction of sugar in your diabetic condition. Your blood pressure will come down because nitrous oxide, because it's a vasodilator. These are healing crises, which eventually will stabilize and you will become very healthy. In fact, to be very honest, I'm very thankful for this Ventros IM device. My health has improved tremendously, and most important thing is my health. So to me, that's most important, and I'm very thankful for it. And I've been using it for the last 5-6 months, and a lot of illnesses of mine, been at 66 years old, there are a lot of things we face, and it has cleared out or improved in many ways. So I hope you can get the same improvement like I do. Yeah, so okay, the next slide. Khalid? Okay, when you have a low ATP, I try to make it as simple as possible, not to go into very detail, because if you talk into science, then a lot of us will not understand. Make it as simple so that the customers will appreciate it. Now, when you have low ATP because of aging, that's the most important thing, because of aging. When we age, our ATP production in the body will drop. That's for sure. And of course, the next thing is our lifestyle. Lifestyle in the sense that we smoke, we have high stress in our work and family life, we are having a lot of pollution in the environment, we have all kinds of things that are not good for the body. Now we sleep late, we don't have time to relax, a lot of stress, that kind of thing. Your ATP will come down. When your ATP comes down in the body, you will age. You will age prematurely. Means you will look older than your chronological age. That means if you are, say, 45, you may look by 65 or 55, which I think none of us would want to have that. So, and once the ATP comes down, your cell become tired, become weak. So you also become lethargic, like untuk, so you become lazy, your organ will cut down, you have end up with diabetic, hypertension, with heart condition, you get stroke, all kinds of things will come in. So with this use of the IM laser device, will improve your ATP production in your body through the stimulation of the mitochondria in your cells, and you will improve exponentially, fantastically. And you can feel the difference, say within a week or two, you feel very energetic. And it's also very good for people who are obese, people who are fat. I am one, my waistline was, let me see, like 47 or 48, no, 37, 38 now. Now I'm using now 34. So it has dropped about 3 inches over the last 6 months. Yeah, apart from being much healthier, my waistline has dropped tremendously. I'm very sure a lot of a bit heavyweight people will be very happy to use this product, right? Okay, and you become more younger looking in terms of your performance in your general life, in terms of your quality of life, maybe even in your family life, in terms of the time, the quality time you spend with the children and all that, other than your normal working life. Okay, now this slide shows the live blood test. All of us who are aged, for example, 40 and above, whenever you test your blood, you will have all this accumulation of blood cells, which is normal for everybody. If you are not on medication, you are not healthy, you are bound to have this. In fact, I have experience of sitting next to a guy who is 30 over years old when he did this live blood test in Sungai Petani. And I saw this, and I told the guy, I don't know him, I just happened to sit next to him, and I was telling him, hey, my friend, I think you got to be very worried, man. Your condition like this, you will end up with a stroke or a heart attack very soon. You know what he told me? He said, uncle, now of course I look like uncle, he says, uncle, in fact, I already had a heart attack. That's why I came here to look at this product. And he was only 35 years old. So can you imagine if you have this condition of what it shows in the slide, you'll be very, very worried. And I am very, very worried for you. You better make sure you buy an IM laser and use it. Now, after using the IM laser for half an hour, you can see that the blood corpuscle has all split up into individual cells. Now, this is done by the laser itself, as well as the magnetism in the device itself. And this is proven. This is not what I say or what he says and all that. This is proven. All those people who has come for the live blood test before and after and using this device can see this for themselves. This is to prove to them that this device actually make your blood viscosity drops, and at the same time it will split up all the cells. Now, if you have this condition of all the blood cells circulating in the body as individual cells and carrying oxygen to all the organs in the body, you will be bound to be very healthy, and then it will be preventing you from stroke, neuralgia, pain, inflammation, kidney problem, and whatever problems you have will be lessened for sure. Because with this circulation going around, individual blood circulation improve for sure. It will drain out a lot of toxins from the body to your liver and your kidneys to be excreted out in terms of your urine and your stools. So that way, you will improve your body functions tremendously. That is 100% sure. So, and moreover, it will prevent you from getting heart attack and stroke. Because if there is accumulation of cells like what it was before, then the chances of getting a heart clot going to your heart walls and blocking it and getting a heart attack and the stroke is very, very high. So make sure if you have this condition before the using the laser, you make sure you treat it. Either you're going to take aspirin or a blood thinner, at the same time use IM laser continuously, and I assure you, you will be prevented from cancer, from stroke and heart attack, and your blood will be very good, and the organs will be very well and healthy again and detoxified very well. Okay, next, come to the next one. Okay. Okay, the photon itself actually, when it strikes on the mitochondria, the photon itself will cleanse the blood. It will split out the blood and reduce the viscosity of the blood. With the reduced viscosity of the blood will flow much faster. So when the blood circulation improves, the metabolism rate will improve. At the same time, when the metabolism rate improves, your body will be able to take up excessive toxins from the body and fast. So it will prevent your body to be having a lot of this, what they call the free radicals, to cause your body to be weak, your organ to be weak, and prevent you from getting cancer from the free radical attacking your cells. Because actually the cancer is very simple. There's a proliferation of cells above from what it's supposed to do. Like certain cells, like our red blood cells, will die off every 28 days. A new cells will be formed, it will be circulated in the body. But if excessive white cells are excreted from the bone marrow instead of normal quantity, then you end up with getting leukemia, which is blood cancer. And all certain organs, when it's supposed to produce, say, 1 billion cells a month, instead you start producing 10 billion cells a month at the same organ, then you get tumors which can be either benign or cancerous. So that is very important. So we do not want that to happen in the body. So the clearance of the toxins in the body is highly important to prevent that from happening in the cells. Okay, next one. Okay, now when we talk about this laser treatment, the photobiostimulation is to treat ATP, nitric oxide, ROS, and stem cells. You are talking in terms of cellular level. That means to every individual cells in your body, because it goes to every part of the body, including your hair. So now it will help the whole organism. In terms of organism means us as a human being, because from cells it goes to many cells become a tissue, many tissues become an organ, many organs become a system in the body, like pulmonary system, circulatory system, whatever. Then all the system add up together, we become organism as human being. So all these production will help us in terms of regenerations of new cells in the body. The nitrous oxide is very important in the sense, especially for men, right? If you take Viagra, it actually stimulates the production of nitrous oxide in the body. So with that, it helps ED, right? ED is erectile dysfunction. That means men having problem with their erection. Okay. Now this will definitely help them. I'm not speaking out there because when you say that, in fact, I'm very reserved to say this, but it is the fact. I have a lot of my learned customers who says, "Hey, Sim, you everything they sell, direct selling is definitely good for ED." Right? So this way you promote this. I said no. Now it is a fact. This is something I will state as a fact. It will definitely help you in terms of ED and a lot more things, because nitrous oxide actually is vasodilator. When the vasodilator means it's open up your blood vessel to be bigger and more flexible. When you have that, blood circulation will improve tremendously. When the blood circulation improves tremendously, you will become very healthy. In terms of a lot of things, in terms of your blood circulation to your head, it will improve your memory, it will prevent eczema, it will give you a better perspective in terms of your eyes, you can see better, because the blood circulation improves that much that even prevent you from getting glaucoma. People who has glaucoma after using 1 or 2 weeks, they will see that the blood pressure will come down. And people who even have a retina detachment problem, a friend of mine who is almost blind, after using for 3 months, has able to improve his eyesight. But of course, it's not back to normal, but it has improved. So that is very important. Nitrous oxide, in fact, can do a lot of things for you. It will prevent a lot of cramps, a lot of pain in the body, inflammation in the body. In fact, if you want to speak one of each one of these, I think you probably need to have half a day to go through the whole thing. Now, the ROS, when they carry oxygen to every part of the body, because of the oxygen going to the cells, it will help to stimulate the cells to be active again. So you will be able to revitalize all the cells in the body, and the nutrients that is drawn into the cells will make it regenerate and become healthy again. The stem cells that we produce, it goes to the particular organ, because we have different types of stem cells in the body. In different parts of the organs of the body, we have different stem cells, specific stem cells. Now, this stimulation by the laser will produce stem cells specifically for that particular organ, which will replace the dead stem cells and replenish new stem cells. Hence why the organ itself will become healthier and regenerated to be healthier. Like, for example, for one very specific area is people who has going for kidney dialysis. Now, I've observed, first thing is if they use it for 2-3 months, their creatinine level would have dropped tremendously. And they normally would investigate the creatinine level before they administer the next level of dialysis. So if they find that the creatinine level has dropped significantly, they will reduce the sessions of dialysis for the patient. Now, normally, the dialysis patient will need about 4 hours per session, 3 times a week, which after that, they will feel very tired, they can't do anything, and their life is terrible. So if you can reduce the sessions to, say, twice a week. Can you imagine how much the quality of the life of this diabetic patient will improve? So the most important thing is this patient that I've seen, they have improved in their quality of life. In terms they are more energetic and they feel so much happier. So that's very important in this sense. Okay, next one please. Yeah. Okay, so these are the different system that it would help in terms to restore the health system, the nervous system. Okay, in terms of nervous system, right? The first fundamental thing I see is very important is what? I've told to many patients who have Parkinson problem, and a few of them are doctors themselves. And in doctors, normally they are very skeptical about devices. Because we practice evidence-based medication, so they are very skeptical. But when I'm able to prove to them by making them use the device and see for themselves that it has actually helped their condition in terms of the shaking of their limbs and all that, they will buy immediately, right? In spite of the fact that they don't actually trust that this tiny little device can do so much for them as far as Parkinsonism itself. Because in Parkinsonism, there is nothing that medically can be done except on medication. And the side effect of the medication is terrible. It's really terrible. As a pharmacist, I can tell you, the side effect is very, very, very bad. And the doctors themselves, they know it. So, but if they have that condition, they can't help it but to take it, and they suffer the side effect, which is very, very bad. So when they see this device doing so good for them, they can reduce the medication and improve their quality of life. So other than that, the hormonal, now, immune system. Now, as far as the laser therapy is concerned, I have read through an article and research done on the killing of bacteria and viruses in the blood by low light level therapy. So there has been studies been done, and especially for a time like this, with the coronavirus going around, it's very important for us to use it regularly, at least 3 times a day, and the wrist and the nasal level, so that it will kill out whatever virus that we have contacted, at the same time the bacteria, and improve our immunity system. So it's very, very essential for us to use it more nowadays at this period of time. So now, as far as the heart is concerned, I'm not so sure. If I go through all this system, you tell you tomorrow morning you cannot finish. Okay, now what I find most effective is musculoskeletal system problem. Means to say, people who has pain, who get neuralgia, you get numbness in the limbs, they got metacarpal syndrome, they have trigger finger, they have frozen shoulder, they have pain at the joints, osteoarthritis, they have cramps in the night, they have rheumatoid arthritis pain. That kind of thing is very, very effective. Now you use at the 4 bars target treatment, 40 minutes, 4 bars. I think after 40 minutes, the patient will feel the intensity of the pain and the inflammation gone down tremendously. Say at the count of 1 to 10, when they first started, the pain is 10. When they finish, probably the pain is only 3 or 4. And they can definitely see the effect by themselves. You don't have to tell them. You just ask them how you feel. Get up and walk. They will tell you, yes, it has improved. And that, I'm very, very positive. It will help all the patients. Now, I for one, my personal experience is I have osteoarthritis for the last 40 years because I was very active when I was very young. I do a lot of athletic thing. I do martial arts, all that kind of thing. When you're young, you're always very active. Now, when you're old, you're suffering from all the side effects of your youth. So I have been suffering this for 40 years. I have a lot of medication in my pharmacy, but I don't take any one of them because I am scared of the side effect. My kidney will fail at the end of the day. My other organs will fail because of the side effect of the medication. So when I have this device, I use it as a spot treatment for my knees. I use 40 minutes, 4 bars, 6 times. That means 2 at one side and twice at the back of the knee. After the 6 sessions, my God, I'm really surprised. It's totally gone. The pain is totally gone. I've been suffering for 40 years. It's 24 hours pain. So it's a fantastic relief for me. That's why I say I'm very thankful for iron laser and Ventros to have this product. That's why I'm so passionate about promoting this product to my friends and my patients and my customers, my relatives, and they are all benefiting from it. For stroke, for example, guys who have stroke which find it very hard to walk and open up the steps, I use it on that guy. Normally, when I travel, I use 2 pieces of the Ventros, one for the nose at the left wrist and one for spot treatment at the same time. Now, after half an hour of using these 2 units, I took it off from the guy who has stroke, who is very adamant. He's very rich. He's from staying in Moa, and he had been so unthin types of things, supplements, equipment, whatever. When we went to see him, he straight away put a full stop. No, I'm not interested in the product. But I convinced him, you try. After using for half an hour, he took off the 2 units and asked him to walk. Oh my God, when he started walking, he don't stop. He keep on walking and he's smiling away. And of course, he bought the unit. And not only 1 unit, after about 2-3 weeks, he bought another unit. So he actually bought 2 units. Yeah. So as far as stroke is concerned, my experience is fantastic. And I have things like, for example, medically you cannot treat what you call hyperhidrosis. Excessive sweating of the palms where you get sweat coming out, very wet, right? This lady, 21 years old, a university student, if she cracks her hand, you can feel the sweat coming out from her hand dripping. After using for 3 days, totally dried up. So basically, what it does is, I cannot really explain, and no doctors can actually explain why the hyperhidrosis suddenly stopped. Of course, it says it can be due to stress and all that, which normally the doctor will say, it's due to stress, your exam level coming, your books, your studies and all that. But it's not actually that. The etiology of hyperhidrosis is not known. But it has cured. So basically what it does, the benefits of IM laser is restore cell function, cell growth, cell repair, and cell absorption. So basically that's what it does. That's why I believe that caused the hyperhidrosis to stop after just 3 days of usage. Now, the increased metabolism, of course, because of the increased metabolism rate, your body temperature will increase by about half to 1 degree centigrade, which is normal. Now, in order to bring it back to normal, you need to rehydrate yourself. That means you've got to drink a lot of water, and you should be okay. So, accelerate healing process in the sense that if you have a wound, for example, you have to go for operation. I have a diabetic patient who have a very bad diabetic wound. When she started using it for 1-2 days, she called me and says, "Oh, Mr. Tim, it's very painful. I never felt it like that before." So I says, "Don't worry, if you continue using it, because blood is trying to rush through and it's trying to regenerate new cells coming out, so you continue using." After the 3rd day, she called me and says she felt so much better. In fact, when I was with her, she requested to use it for 5 days for free, which I lent it to her for 5 days. On the 3rd day, she felt so much better. She paid me on the 4th day. So that's how good it is in terms of accelerating healing process. Now, anti-inflammatory is something that I've seen with my own eyes. And just to prove the effect, actually one classmate of mine came limping into my pharmacy with a very swollen ankle. He actually misstepped the stairs, 3 steps in one go. So he actually sprained his ankle. It's like a miku, it's a very swollen edema, stretching. He came to my shop and says, "Billy, give me some medication to reduce the pain and the swelling." So at that point of time, I just started doing this unit. There's about maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks into it. So I would like to see the effect, how good it is. So I said, hey, you do me a favor, just tie the whole wash unit there, 44 bars, 40 minutes. He sat there next to my dispensing counter for half an hour, 40 minutes. When he finished, when I took it off, I'm really surprised. The swelling has gone totally. The pain has disappeared totally. So I said, you don't need any medication, and he walks out. That's how good anti-inflammatory is all about. So in terms of pain reduction, is almost fantastic, I can say. It is really fantastic. Now, in terms of pain reduction, there is one very unique case which I would like to highlight. There is a matron, retired matron. The daughter is actually a professor in Dublin University and teaching anesthesiology. And she could not help her mother, in spite of the fact that she came back. She took her to see all kinds of specialists in terms of university, player, do all the MRI, the CT scans, whatever tests that they've gone through, and nothing happened. And she is having headache and pain 24 hours a day for the last 2.5 years. Nothing can be done. All the GPs can do is to give her paracetamol, take off the pain temporarily. So when I approached them through a friend, the husband is actually a director general of a ministry in Malaysia, retired. Now, I approached him and he says, are you sure you can help this and that? I said, okay, fine. Why don't you let her try? So we put it on for her, 40 minutes, tied onto the head, and she slept for half an hour, 40 minutes. After taking it off, we asked her how she felt. She said, oh, this is the first time she had felt no pain. That was really surprising to me. That is something which really kept me going on and on and on, helping a lot of people who are suffering. So when I actually sold this unit to him, this Mr. Tan, who is a former Director General of a ministry, he says, to be very honest with you, Mr. Sim, when you came to see me through this friend who recommended you, I already had made up my mind not to purchase this whatever unit you're selling from you. Already made up his mind, but he paid me the money and thanked me for it. Can you imagine that? How good is that device for a guy who's already decided not to buy anything from me? So that's how good the device is. That's why if I go on, there are so many things I can tell you. Okay, there's another thing that medically you cannot actually do anything. Tinnitus. Tinnitus is the ringing in the ear. That is procuring to vertigo. Ultimately, you have that problem too. Okay, the ringing in the ears, medically, you cannot do anything. Now, the etiology of it is still not known. So, I have a lady who actually bought a unit and for the husband who is on kidney dialysis. After 3 days, I went to the house to ask how is the husband feeling with that unit. And the husband says, oh, I'm feeling good. I feel very energetic and all that. But your friend, that is the wife, your friend is a much happier person. So I said, what is going on? So I said, you ask her. So I asked her, I says, hey, what's the situation? So he says, actually, I have tinnitus for about 3 years. She's a retired teacher, graduate teacher, retired. And she has been having this for about 3 years, going around to all the units hospital, all the specialists, ENT and whatever. Nothing happened. Since she has the unit and the husband using it, she used it for her ear. Now, she actually put the unit in her ear, the laser light. After 3 days, 2 sessions a day, she found that her tinnitus has totally disappeared. Can you imagine the joy in her life? And of course, for me, I feel very good. I have somebody to evaluate their suffering. So be using this device with full confidence. If you don't have full confidence, you cannot convince your friends or your customers to use it. You must have full confidence. Okay, next please. Now, in terms of this 80 diseases that you're supposed to have, in fact, it's not just 80. It can help in terms of everything in your body. As I said, you're talking in terms of regenerating cells, cellular level. So cells means every part of your body. You should be able to help. So, but of course, there are things that I was challenged. For example, now diabetic. For what? First thing, diabetic, there are two types of diabetic. There's type 1 diabetic where you're born with it. Your pancreas is not secreting insulin, so you have to go on insulin injection from the day you are born, right? The other type, which is more common, is a type 2 diabetes. Normally, it appears for adult, or we call it adult onset diabetes. Normally, 45 years old, 35 years old, depending on your lifestyle and the condition, you will get this. So when you get this, first thing is to go on medication. And you got to monitor, because if you don't, if the diabetic become very bad, then you may end up with chronic kidney failure at the end of the day, right? So when you use this IM laser, you will stimulate the insulin to be more active in terms of its sensitivity. Now, one of the reasons why you have type 2 diabetes is because not that your body, your pancreas is not secreting insulin. It's also secreting insulin. But the insulin that is secreted is not sensitized, not sensitive enough to break down the glucose that is supposed to break down. For example, other complexity in the body, the 1 unit insulin secreted by your pancreas now 5 or 10. So the remaining 40 flows in the blood, that's why you have diabetes. Okay, now with this IM laser, it stimulates the insulin secreted by the pancreas to be sensitive. So you'll be able to break down more units of the carbohydrates and sugar in your blood. So your blood flowing around the glucose and level will be much lower. That's how you improve your diabetic condition. So for diabetic patient, you got to watch your medication. If it is too low, you have got to reduce your medication, but do not stop immediately, because if you do not monitor your blood sugar, if it's too low, you will go into hypoglycemia, which you may feel giddy, you may even fall down, you may have a hypoglycemic shock, which is very dangerous. It can even trigger heart attack. So you have got to be cautious about that. So you may need to reduce your initially, when you start using, like my condition, I also have diabetic, type 2 diabetic. When I first started using it, I find that my blood sugar go haywire. Really haywire. It is, I have never get a blood sugar level of say 15, 16, like that. Never, because I monitor very well. But it went up to 18, 20, 23. It's crazy. So I was worried. I said, hey, what is going on, man? Instead of helping me, this device is making my diabetic go haywire. But I thought of it as it's a healing crisis. I need to take it slowly and see what happened. So when I continue using it until now, after about 5-6 months, I find that my diabetic condition has improved tremendously. I have reduced my medication for diabetes, and I feel so much energetic, so much better. Yeah. So in terms of hypertension, now for hypertensive patient, you have got to monitor your blood sugar carefully, especially when you first start using it for the first few days. Because of the nitrous oxide, the vasodilation for the blood vessel can be quite tremendous, and it brings down your blood sugar to very low, right? Maybe you can, if you are very borderline blood sugar, hypertensive patient, say 140, 90, 95, that kind of thing, you may probably drop to 100 to 75, 70. So you may feel a bit lightheaded, a bit of giddiness. You got to watch it. So you try to be very careful, but continue using it. After about 2-3 weeks, you will stabilize. So it will help you in terms of your hypertension condition, and you can reduce your medication. Because hypertensive medication, generally, most of all medication have side effects. So if you can reduce your medication with the complementary use of the IM laser, which is so much better because you actually reduce your side effect to your body by the medication itself. So that is very important. Use 2 at one time, but do not stop until you're very sure your blood pressure can be steady at 120, 80 all the time. Then you may consider to cut down your medication completely. But try to talk to your pharmacist or your doctor before doing that. Don't do it on your own. Okay, otherwise it starts shooting out, you may end up with a stroke. I don't want to see that happen to you. Now, in terms of cholesterol level, I should help you in terms of that sense, but I'm not very sure the pathway of how the cholesterol level is reduced. But yet to go into that. Okay, next one, please. What else? Okay, cellulites. Oh, in terms of cellulite, I have not experienced on it, honestly, but there's one that I've been challenged most of the time. You look at the 80 types of illnesses, there's one very specific one which is called snake bite. Anyone seeing it? Snake bite? Anybody has been challenged for that? I've been challenged by one of the top specialists in Malaysia. He questioned me. Hey Sim, you look at this. I said, what is that? Because actually I didn't run through the whole list, you see. So he said, snake bite. Hey, are you sure? Snake bite? I said, no. You snake bite, first thing you must do, you take an anti-venom first. You must take anti-venom first, the jab. Then only you use this device. Because this device will help to prevent necrosis of the tissues. That means it will help to regenerate new tissues and help you to heal faster. Not because snake bite, you use it, IM laser, you will die for sure without the anti-venom. So that part of it, you all got to be careful, right? Now, I have been challenged many times, so that's how I explain to them, and that's how it is. First thing, you must get the anti-venom. All right, okay. Now there are more benefits of IM laser in terms of eczema, erectile dysfunction, I have spoken, glomerulonephritis, of course. Now, I have a friend who has very high creatinine level and edema of the limbs, and he's feeling very lethargic, very weak. He came to me and said what to do. So I says, okay, you trust me, you use this IM laser. It will help to improve your kidney condition. And he did. He used it for 3 weeks. He went back to Australia. He did his analysis of his blood, and the creatinine has gone down to fantastic level. He's feeling very healthy now, and he's walking very well. And in fact, he's selling a lot of IM lasers now. Congratulations. It's good that he believed in me. Now, obesity, it will definitely help. And what else? Wrinkles. Now it talks in terms of wrinkles. Okay. Now, the laser light, actually, there's a white patch that comes with the set. The silicone patch is actually for you to use for certain sports therapy, at the same time for facial, for the ladies. Now, this will be very interesting in the sense that after washing your face at night, and you put on your moisturizing cream or night cream or whatever, you put this laser for 30 minutes onto your face, right? Slowly bring it out to lift up your skin, right? And to put on your area where you have pigmentation, especially women who has been on this contraceptive pill for a long time and give birth to a few children, they will have pigmentation, especially they are 45, 50 years old. This will help to take off their pigmentation and their wrinkles. That is for sure. You use it for 1 month, you feel your whole body skin. It is so much smoother. That is for sure. Okay. Time up. Anything more? Next. Khalid, any more? Okay. Now, this unit is selling for 3,008. Now, there are certain challenges that I also feel about this in terms of people will say, at the end of the day, when you want to sell them, some people are now very smart. They go to online, they search, say, hey, this, what do you call? I can get it from Taobao, I can get Alibaba, I can get it from Shopee, I can get it from Lazada, for so and so and all that. Now, there are certain individuals who have been advertising to sell these products in the Lazada, Shopee for Malaysian market. Now, I would advise they don't do that anymore because it's actually creating a very negative image to our company and the device. So please take it off. And I always tell them, if you buy it from them, First thing, there is no guarantee. Second thing, you can't do the business. Third thing, you are not sure whether you're going to receive the product or not. So you better buy from me, okay? Or the authorized agent, like people like us who are sharing with you today. And we will support you in terms of any problems that you have. And the company is always there to make sure they give you the guarantee that it's been promised. So use it with confidence. With $3,800 for 10,000 hours usage, and any problem you have, you can solve with it. I think it's pretty cheap to use it. And make sure you have the 100% commitment to do it, to do this business. And I guarantee you, you will help a lot of people to be more healthier in their life, and will make you a happier person in terms of creating a lot of good merits in your life, giving health to people.